Welcome back. The Crusher is super excited to bring you Kyle Maynard. Kyle is an inspirational figure who's been the subject of many interviews in the past, but we're going to do something different. I want to give you guys a view into what makes Kyle who he is and what makes him and inspires him to do the things that he does. The things that inspire us as well. Don't forget to check out and like and share our Facebook page so that you don't miss out on any of the other interviews that the Crusher's doing. I'll see you soon for some Crusher closing remarks. I'm here with inspirational speaker, trainer, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu mixed martial arts competitor, fighter, and friend, Kyle Maynard. So Kyle, what do you like about training Jiu-Jitsu?
Getting choked by you, man. That's the best part. And I think, to me, it's just like everything in life is just a little bit better when you're training. I don't know. Something about it. The sport, to me, it's almost like my form of like meditation. You know, when I go out there and like I can't think about anything else. You know, I'm not thinking about like the bills I got to go and pay, or like, you know, the things I've got to go and do, the to-do list that I've got racked up. I mean, it's just more about kind of being in that present moment. I mean, it's an amazing sport from that respect.
You've got a background in wrestling. What attracts you to combat sports like wrestling, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and MMA? Like, what attracts you to it?
I think it's something about this like community. I mean, something about these sports. Like, they push you to like the brink every single time that you go out there. I mean, they push you to sort of like, you know, that just next foreseeable level, like in yourself, and the opponent is what brings that out. I mean, it's something where it's also, you know, in jiu-jitsu especially, I mean, you're facing constantly like life and death, right? I mean, it's every single day in the sport. I mean, you're literally putting your life in somebody else's hands.
Right.
Somebody else puts you in a choke. It's like, if they don't let go, then like you're done.
Yep.
So, I mean, to me, it's like just the ultimate expression of like just, I don't know, just being able to like, learn a skill that sort of transcends the skill itself. It's more about just the experience. Right?
Yeah, trust and community. You know, taking it a step further, you had to go through a lot to compete in mixed martial arts. It's an incredible story, an incredible achievement, you know, from my perspective, in my book. Why'd you do it?
You know, I think with MMA, I wanted to learn something about myself. You know, I wanted to go in there and be able to go and experience a sport that I love watching, and be able to, instead of just be a spectator, have like, you know, look at it from a different perspective. And I had no delusions about being a pro, but you know, to me, it was just about having that experience. And there were a lot of people that supported me, but there were also a lot of people, you know, people are probably aware inside of some of the community and the forums and stuff like that, a lot of people didn't want to see me do it.
Right.
And to me, the amazing thing was, it was like just getting in there and having the experience. It was unreal. It's really hard to even describe like what that moment was like. And in a lot of ways, I kind of felt sorry for the people who said, you know, that, okay, Kyle's never going to be able to do it, Kyle's going to get killed, Kyle's doing this just to get attention, because it's like their fear might have like locked them up so much that they would never go in there and get to experience something that beautiful themselves. Right.
That's interesting. So I believe that people compete to answer a question, right? What's your question?
What is my question? Man, that's a great question. I think with all things I do, especially with jiu-jitsu, it is, who am I? Who am I, and what do I do with that learning? You know, and the deeper that I can go and kind of understand myself, the deeper I can go and understand what I'm, you know, capable of in my life, what I'm capable of going through, then I think I can take those same lessons and kind of model, or just mold that up and help other people kind of find themselves, which is, I think, to me, like the greatest opportunity you ever give somebody, is just the permission to be themselves. Yeah,
it's funny that you take it there, because you inspire so many people, right? I mean, we were just talking about it, you know, on Facebook, and how you've like quadrupled my likes. But anyway, we'll get to that later. You know, we'll get to talking about me later.
The social media
no, but you inspire so many people. Who inspires you? Who do you look to when you want to be a better Kyle Maynard?
I think, to me, I draw a lot of inspiration. I mean, for one, the cop-out answer is like my family, my dad especially. My dad was a huge influence in my life. You which is really, really an important thing to me. I mean, that I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now if it hadn't been for some of the stuff that he had sort of like forced me into, and uncomfortable situations that I wouldn't have wanted to have been in before. But then I think on a bigger level, I think I've gotten to spend a lot of time with many men and women in the military who have sacrificed their limbs literally to keep us safe, to keep us free. And I was born without my arms and legs, so I don't really know what it's like to go through any type of loss. I've always, this is the only way that I've ever known. And so I think, seeing them go and achieve things that like I never would have dreamed possible before. Like, I mean, even myself, and it's like that to me is just opens my mind up to like the fact that it's not about like what happens to us. It's like so much bigger than that.
So it's incredible. You gotten to meet some interesting people, right? Tell me, who are some of the most interesting people you've gotten to meet in general?
Well, I think in general, there's some pretty cool ones. I did an interview with Larry King, Oprah. Got to hang out with Arnold Schwarzenegger. That was pretty cool.
You met Hillary Duff.
Hillary Duff. She was like my biggest teen crush.
Man. Yeah, not the only legit. One.
Yeah, right. My heart was about to beat through my chest at that one. The Larry King thing was interesting. When I did the interview with him, we ended up developing a really good relationship down the road. Did 2 interviews with him, but it didn't start off that way. It kind of started rocky.
Really?
And came in and literally, so I was sitting higher than he was in this seat. It's almost like a barber chair, right? And so he comes in the studio. He was running late, got caught in LA traffic. He comes in about 5 minutes before we go live on the air, and he's a smaller guy, not a big guy, maybe like 5'2", 90 pounds, soaking wet. Yeah, so like he comes in and like sits down in this chair and like looks across at me and sees that I'm sitting higher than he was, and goes and barks out to his producers. He goes, "Lower this kid down! I'm not going to look up to a guest." I was 18 years old. He didn't even say hello. Like literally, like I about had a heart attack on the spot, like, about to die. And they came. It was just like a barber chair. It was like lowered me down like neck level, and then like, looking up to him. And he goes to ask me, "Why are you here?" Next thing I hear from the producers was like, "We're live in 5, 4, 3." So that was pretty crazy, but it was kind of cool. I mean, getting me started on what I'm doing now with like speaking and traveling and getting to go around the world and kind of changing other people's perceptions and stuff.
That's awesome. What about in jiu-jitsu or mixed martial arts? Have you met any interesting characters there that you want to shout out to?
Man, I've gotten to meet the whole spectrum of the characters in the jiu-jitsu community. It was just last week. I got to hang out with Henner Gracie, Hennergy. Got to go and see how he packs his energy in there, eating like the massive acai bowls. Then it was got to roll with Marcelo Garcia this year, and that was unreal. I mean,
he's not bad.
Not too shabby.
Yeah,
right?
He's not bad.
I don't think I've ever felt so powerless against someone like a gorilla. But Henzo might be, one of my favorite guys in the sport.
Awesome.
Last time I saw Henzo, I was at UFC, and he goes, I remember where it was, I think it was out in Vegas or something like that, and I'm just like riding my wheelchair and kind of going along, right? And all of a sudden somebody comes up, like sprints up behind me, grabs the handlebars of the wheelchair, and just goes, running through this crowd, going, beep, beep, just like zooming through. I turn around and it's Henzo right there, so it's pretty cool, man. They're some of the most amazing people I've ever met in the sport.
That's awesome. So I consider you a lion in life. Some of the things that you've done, people can just Google you and see some of the things that you've done. But I want to know, give me an example of something that actually scares you.
Wow, something that scares me, besides talking to Hillary Duff. I think probably my biggest fear is complacency. I think it's just sort of like being like okay with the status quo, and in my life right now, and it's like a dichotomy between like asking more of yourself and wanting something beyond that, but it's also not about being consumed with it. Give you like an analogy, like in the mountain climbing world,
right?
I know some people that are in the mountain climbing community that are amazing adventurers, but like they're talking about the next adventure before they're off their current one, right? They're talking about the next mountain or the next mountain after that before they're even summited the mountain that they're currently on. So it's that split, like you got to enjoy where you're at, you got to like love the process, but at the same time, like you can't be stuck there. You can't just go and, if you're in a job that you don't like, you're in, an environment that you don't like, or a relationship you don't like, or whatever else, it's like you can't just go and stay there and be like cool with things just being where they are. You have to like ask more of yourself.
So when you are climbing mountains or inspiring thousands more than I do, how do you unwind? You know, any favorite movies or TV shows?
Oh man, I'm a Netflix junkie, like hardcore. So yeah, like Breaking Bad, House of Cards, Orange is the New Black, Game of Thrones.
Really? Game of Thrones? Oh man,
yeah.
I gotta invite you to my Game of Thrones group. Game of Thrones is awesome.
You have a Game of Thrones
Game of Thrones
group?
is awesome.
I just took it to a whole other level.
Another level.
Right.
Game of Thrones, you'll see. Facebook, I'm gonna Game of Thrones group.
Yeah, it's I'm definitely a big movie, books, I don't know, all that. I mean, yeah.
Awesome. When it's all said and done, what do you want people to say about you?
Wow, that's crazy. You know, there's probably one of my favorite quotes that I think about a lot was Emerson, Ralph Waldo Emerson. He said, "Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path, and leave a trail."
Mm-hmm.
And I think to sum it up, I mean that's probably what I'd want to go and do with my life, is instead of just kind of going through the sort of rote things that have been done time and time again, like do something different, do something that helps other people, and then, you know, leaves that trail for the people to kind of go on even after I'm gone.
That's awesome. Any last words for all your fans or people that might just be getting to be introduced to you?
Hit us up, man. Come Creighton MMA, come train, man. I mean, this has been amazing. Like, this is like my home away from home. I mean, it's the instruction here has been unreal. And even if people can only get in, I'm a little bit biased, but to come in and train with us for a little bit, I mean, it's like this gym, the Academy, Paul Creighton, the whole environment has taken my game to a whole other level, and it's something, I mean, I love it. I mean, it's been really cool. So I hope you guys get a chance to come and check it out, come and roll.
Awesome. Why don't you give a shout out to your CrossFit facility as well?
Yeah,
that'd be great.
For sure, man. I'm probably here more than I'm at my own gym right now. But it's come and I mean, train with us too. It's No Excuses CrossFit, so it's down in Sewanee, and it's been an awesome experience. CrossFit is kind of a similar thing where, I mean, every day it's just sort of that, like, you know, birth and death. I mean, it's just like forces you to go to the extremes.
Awesome. Thanks, Kyle. It's been a pleasure, man.
Absolutely. Thank you.
There's a saying that iron sharpens iron, and so one man sharpens another. Well, Kyle Maynard makes me feel like silly putty, because he just is an inspiration in the way he consistently challenges himself when other people, myself included, would probably fold and just melt away into the background. But he refuses to do that. And in doing so, he's inspired me and so many others. I gotta tell you, I am so happy to have had the opportunity to sit down with him, exchange ideas from him, and learn from him. And if you have that opportunity in the future, I encourage you to do it. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you for the life that you've lived, who you are, and your willingness to share that with me and with others. Thank you to the fans for joining me in this experience. Please check out, like, share my Facebook page so that you don't miss any of the interviews that I do in the future. I'll see you soon on Off the Mat with the Crusher.